pimped out platypus. In Iraq, as a medic, a local with a colostomy was selling his wound hole, nicknamed the Colostitute. And of course, it ended up with chlamydia.
Oh, hang on a minute. What? What?
Emotional damage.
Colostomy juice is on my dishes. Colostomy juice.
Oh man. Oh wow.
What and the fuck is that?
Oh, for the love of Pete! Wow,
that is disgusting.
Oh, it's horrendous.
That all right. Hang on. All right, hang on. I got to wrap my head around this. All right, so I have seen in Iraq some of the most vile shit you can imagine. And what you just said literally
just knocked them all down a peg.
Yes. Yes. I mean, just think how first there's the desperation. Yeah, you can put your dick in my open wound that attaches
it just sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I dated a chick who had not acute, but a lingering case of appendicitis.
Oh.
That went unchecked. They thought that it was like indigestion, acid reflux, whatever the hell. Turns out it was leaking into her body and forming a giant abscess of pus on the appendix itself. And in the process, it wound up fusing together parts of her digestive tract with an ovary. So she wound up losing like a foot of intestine. It was a whole thing. And because the infection was so severe, instead of stitching it up, they left the wound open because they thought there was a very high probability they would have to go back in at any given moment to address additional infection.
Wow.
So it was up to me, because her mom and sisters thought it was gross as fuck, to take a strip of gauze this long, soak it in saline solution, and then use, pardon my dick, a Q-tip to poke it into the wound and then dress it with a bandage.
Ah, man.
I never once, in the weeks that I spent administering her intravenous antibiotics and poking that shit into her belly, thought, that looks like my dick would fit.
and let me guess. After it was all said and done, there was no gratitude.
Oh, there was plenty of gratitude.
Oh, okay.
If you know what I mean.
All right.
She wasn't one of the people who made this particular list of nastiness. This brings me on to number 2, which would have happened when I was 18 years old. I was at a party. This chick, after trying to pawn me off on her friend, who I eventually did wind up hooking up with, she took her boyfriend upstairs to sleep with him before he left the party, and then came back downstairs and then attempted to drag me upstairs for sloppy seconds. Literally minutes after he left.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
I'm just trying to think here. The worst I've ever seen was it's another Army CQ story. All right,
shocker.
I'm literally at the desk. I am the CQ. I'm an E5, and somebody comes down. He's like, "Hey, Sergeant Pop, there's some action going on up there." And
action.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even want to explain it. You just got to see it. So I'm like, okay. I grab the huge ring of keys.
Yeah.
Every door in the barracks has a key and a lock to it. And I don't knock on the door. And before I know it, I got 8 other Rangers in the hallway because they want to see this.
Of course.
Key in the lock. Open it up. And literally hit the Ranger's back is to me. And he is plowing this Buffalo woman who's like 450.
Oh, God.
From behind. The first thing out of my mouth was like, how the hell did you get that in here?
He hoisted it up the side of the building like a piano.
There's no way they hoisted that woman up on a rope. I mean, look, they did that. I mean, I caught them doing it, but I had no idea. So, I had to take appropriate action and hose them down. And
that's some Kung Fu Panda shit. How did you manage to sneak into anywhere?
But I could, it's just some Ranger standing behind me, and all I hear him is go, whirl. Woo!
Oh, those good times.
Now, this one isn't exactly super nasty. It's more the lines of how should I phrase this? Super whore.
Super whore.
All right.
We don't know any of those around here.
Her name was Rose. I don't know her last name. I don't remember it. It's been years and years. All right. Now, I met her in the Madigan Club on Fort Lewis. I was like 21. And, one thing led to another. We go back to her barracks, which technically is a big no-go, but I was stick thinking in full swing back then. So
you never.
Yeah, and I was slinging seed like an old bird feeder. And this woman was, she was, you couldn't satisfy her. It's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And then I find out she's a preacher's daughter. So, I'm like, okay, we're done. I leave. I'm hanging out at the battalion, and I'm literally in line for the chow hall. This is like 2 or 3 weeks later, and this dude's like, yeah, I met this really good girl named Rose, and she is like just voracious, man. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, I have another Ranger Eskimo brother.
I had a middle name Rose in my past. Similar thing.
But the thing is I went and I talked to this guy, and I found out like this woman was banging like a different dude, like two different dudes every single weekend.
Sounds like nymphomaniac.
It might be. And literally I'm like, well, I'm good because I didn't have any drippy dick.
Yeah.
But
drippy dick.
Women that do stuff like that, you wind up with drippy dick.
Yeah, it's bad news bears. Yeah.
Genuinely not a long-term investment.
No,
definitely not.
No. But after, after the fact, I was just like, that is just vile, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe I fell for that. Like bad, bad. Bad.
I've told stories about the chick who had the middle name Rose in the past. The one who decided to try to do a pregnancy scare with me when she wasn't even a full day late for a period. But there was one that I didn't tell, and I find it hilarious. We were doing some way, hey. She was in control. She was on top, doing her thing. And apparently, I literally fucked the shit out of her.
I don't need to. What?
Yep. We know when we finished.
I have an idea.
She lays back on the pillow, and I look down, and there's like nuggets on my knees, and she's like, "I don't know where those came from." And I just kind of like, I put like the thing, like the lid, like a Kleenex over it. I was just like, I'm gonna go take a shower. Like I didn't point any fingers. I'm just like, this is obviously she's embarrassed. So that is what it is.
So she's an egg layer.
Apparently, chocolate egg layer, like a Cadbury egg layer.
That is just nasty.
Jesus.
Oh. No.
She got shit on my poop deck, man.
Oh,
God damn. I've never had anything like that.
It wasn't like, I mean, thankfully it wasn't like diarrhea or something that would have been horrendous. It was something that I could easily pick up and throw in the trash.
So,
you're not walking your dog, bro.
I know, right?
Fuck?
We're getting a plastic bag or like a latex glove and pick it up, pull the bag inside out, just saunter off doing the walk of shame. I didn't know whether to be proud of myself or be disgusted.
It's just so shocking.
There was so many conflicting emotions.
Shocking.
Sharting.
Shocking. I don't know. But I mean, this is like in the 80s, in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And this is Fort Lewis. And it was just, I would say, just as bad as it is today.
Yeah.
In regards to like women just putting it out there.
Yep.
I could only imagine what it's like on an active duty post now with all of the dating apps and Facebook and Instagram.
Oh God.
What are you going to do?
You've seen these commercials? Base life in barracks. Oh my God. This is a
it's
cesspool of
man.
debauchery.
Yeah. And in fact, in my one of my reserve units, some guy walked up to me, in the unit. He goes, "Hey man, Sergeant Pop, yeah, these two females back in the hotel rooms, because the government now pays for hotel rooms for soldiers during drill.
Of course.
And he goes, there was just one hell of a worm pile going on, and that it needs to come to an end, because this is going to go bad.
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
So literally, I got the names of all of the dudes. We get into this one room, and I'm like, all right, this. I'm only going to tell you this one time. If I hear of this ever happening again, I am going to do everything in my power to turn your lives inside out and punish the absolute living shit out of you, because you're going to catch a charge at some point. If the Army catches wind of this, you're done.
Done.
I mean, donezo. Because it's even worse now, but back then, a woman could make an accusation, and then it was a long, whole drawn-out investigation. And I probably saved a couple of these guys' careers, from because they were dick thinking. But and one of these female soldiers actually now lives in Hawaii, and I think she's still in the service over there. And let's be honest, leopard doesn't change its spots.
Yeah.
So there could be a lot of burning rings of fire going on over there.
What you get?
Wow.
See what you did there.
Sean St. George says the chat will never let me live that story down. That's fine. I still think it's a funny story just because I literally fucked the shit out of somebody. Dudes can say that all the time, but do you really mean it?
Did you hear it? Was there like a
No,
sound?
literally, it's like it was one of those things where she we finished whatever, and then she laid back on the pillow, and then she scooched off, and then I looked down, and I was just like, "What the fuck is that?"
Did she even know?
No,
she
had no idea. She would completely lost. She was lost in the moment, and then I just like, I'm not even gonna try to press this issue. I'm just gonna go wash this shit off, figuratively and literally.
All right, so it's 9:21. Do you want to go to alt tech?
Yeah, we could do it alt tech. You were talking about like these, chicks never changing their stripes. There's one in particular that always cracked me up. This was a friends with benefits situation.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I remember like she was doing one of those like, oh, remember when conversations? And then she starts telling, it's like, oh, I remember when we did this. And I'm like, that wasn't me.
Oh! Yeah, you're like,
you remember when I took you into the room at school, and then we pulled the paper over the thing, and I gave you a BJ. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't me. Thank you for playing, but that wasn't me.
How many? I mean, when a woman does that, she's literally wiener drunk.
Exactly.
Wow.
I was like, I hope that the me in your memory was good, because that wasn't me.
Wow.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.